Hello and welcome to day number 28 of my 30-day 3D modeling challenge. Today I rolled a garden spade. Why is that so hard to say? Garden spade. Garden spade? Garden spade. Gårdsspade. They are very beautiful. I really like the shape that these things have. They are supposed to like feel good to hold. Working at it with some plants in the garden. Can't say I relate because I've never had a garden before, so I wouldn't know. But the few times that I've had a held a garden spade in my hand, I felt like, yeah, this feels good. This is nice. I don't know what's about it, the shape or the slight bend that it has. Sort of satisfying to hold, This was also quite a bit of a. It's somewhat straightforward, but also kind of tricky because I spent most of the time trying to figure out how to do this part, the bladed part of the spade. At first, I'm trying to just extrude it all from the cylinder itself, but it's not. Yeah, as you can see, it does not look good. It looks like I'm already breaking the fucking mesh apart. So I'm just thinking how to figure it out. But then I eventually just cave in and make a separate mesh instead, which works. Which actually work better in this case. But I'm not doing it yet. Here I am still like working with an extrusion, and at first it looks like I'm sort of making it kind of well, but I don't remember what happened by the end that made me change my mind and completely redo it. We'll see. Uh, mm, People are writing to me. Sorry about that. I was at the Napropath. I'd never heard that word be said in English because I didn't know that the English word was, quite similar to Swedish word. Naprapat, napropath, the healthcare professional that specializes in muscle rehabilitation and pain and dysfunction and stuff like that by cracking your body up. Feels great sometimes, except when it doesn't. In my case, I'm there visiting every now and then to grade my the pain that I have in my face. For those who don't know, who haven't been here from the start, I have like this weird nerve pain in my face, and it's nothing neurological because I've tried medicine for it, but the medicine has not worked. So it suggests that it's muscular related, as opposed to my trigeminal nerve being in some sort of trouble. Which is always scary if that would have been the case, because the trigeminal nerve is the closest one to the brain that we have. It's all the facial nerves. But yeah, so I've been this morning. I almost came late to it because I kind of overslept a little bit, but I arrived in time. And yeah, he's really good. It always I never recall what it's called, but it's you know, when they use pressure points to alleviate some tension or pain that you might have in your body in a completely different place. Like, for instance, this guy presses a certain point in my skull, which I absolutely love. It feels like someone's drilling a hole in my skull, but in a good way, as as contradictory as that may seem. I love it. So people may feel it's very uncomfortable, but I don't know. I kind of like the at least the relief that it gets me. Because I think that the main reason why I have this weird nerve pain in my face that triggers this hypersensitivity on the left side of my forehead is due to the fact that I have hypertension around my skull and my shoulders, my upper back muscles. Probably because I don't know, maybe arguably from 8 years of using a computer, most likely, or something else. I don't know, but it's tough living with chronic pain. But it is like, thankfully, it's quite forgiving because I don't feel it when I'm not touching my face. That specific part of my face. It's I have I have this very sensitive line right above my left eyebrow, and it's makes it really hard to wash your face without feeling, because as soon as something touches that point, that line from the eyebrow, as soon as anything comes in contact with it, whether it be a finger or a hair, it feels like it can potentially feel like I'm getting it can potentially feel like a punch to the eye. So I can get pain behind the eye. It triggers very like instantly. And I've had it since February, and it fucking sucks. I have I have more or less accepted that this is my life now. This is easier to accept because it is like kind of forgiving in the way that it has a condition. It has a trigger condition. Whereas when I don't think about it and I'm not touching it and very mindful with it, I don't really. There are days where I don't feel it at all, and other days that it's just horrible. Not overwhelmingly horrible, but it is kind of distracting from sometimes. But you know, if it was like chronic pain all the fucking time, that would be horrible. Thankfully, it's only hypersensitivity, only when I'm touched. Sorry. I have gotten used that I'm that sometimes you just sneeze because you sneeze. You know, I've been sneezing at random times for the last month, and I still haven't had anything close to a cold. So I guess it's just the dust, the air here. Yeah, so now I'm past the difficult part, the blade, the curved blade of part of the spade. As you might have seen before, I had to like completely redo it, but it turned out okay. It its purpose is quite obvious. Right now I have to like rescale it because when you work with the tinier details for long enough and then you finish up the mesh, you realize that okay, a lot of the proportions are kind of off. So now I have to stretch the upper part, the upper blade, so it's at least the same length as the handle. Because I think that was more, yeah, that's more or less the case with the reference image. Still following a reference as close as possible. There's one detail that I did not bother putting in from the reference, which is like a tiny hole in the wooden handle with a tiny rope. Yeah, I have no idea what happened there. This is weird. Maybe something got messed up when I did. I don't know. I think I just moved it and only selected a couple of vertices, but it was easy to fix. So no worries there. No, I'm already getting started with the seam cutting for the UV unwrapping. The modeling took around 51 minutes all in all, and the no, I have a separate. I have the UV unwrapping separate. The UV unwrapping was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and the material was almost 6 minutes. So pretty a solid hour of work. I'm thinking of different ways I could improve on the method of making a blade shape like this again, because it is obviously a separate part from the handle that is just fused, melded together with the blade, but it's also like stuck together with this rounded plate with the two bolts in the center. Um, but it's I'm thinking of like what would be a good way of doing it. Um, I think I think just sticking with doing it separately as opposed to just extruding it out from the cylinder is a better approach. Even though I lately like to avoid making a mesh that is made out of different separate non-connected meshes. You know, you can join the meshes, but you can't. You don't have to. That doesn't mean that it's all one mesh. Because you can have two joined meshes that don't have any connected geometry. But I tend to avoid that because I think on some engines the rendering can be a little bit weird because sort of like I think it can bake the lighting sort of weird. Or it can end up, I don't know. I feel like there might be some advantages as well as disadvantages to working like that. I don't know. I have a feeling that just making one solid mesh where everything is sort of connected is a good thing. Unless, of course, one part is like a cape or something that is like clearly not the same part of the body of the character. And the cape is rigged differently. It's supposed to have like a fabric modifier thing so that it waves with movement. And while the body has its regular armature. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think oh wait. I think yeah, here I'm just trying out different baking methods. No, not baking. Oh, unwrapping. And I think the best way turned out to be the conformal. No, not the conformal, the minimum stretch. That turned out to be the best one, I think. I'm just happy with that, and now over to substance. And this material was probably, I think this is the one I spend the least time with of all the meshes that the models that I've done in this series. I should put these meshes out somewhere. Once I'm done with this series, I'm thinking of putting all these random assets together in a pack and maybe sell them for a put them out on like Gumshoe or something like that, so people can buy the rights for them and use them for their projects, their prototypes, or whatever they want to, whatever stuff they might want to use it for. Would be cool. I don't think anyone wants to buy anything like, but well, it has to be like the price has to be quite fitting. I'm not gonna put it out for like $60 or something like that. That's like, yeah, I'm not that big. I don't think I will ever be that big, but maybe $5. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.